Yeah, welcome to Academy of Tone 161, live from No1 Hamburg, No1 Guitar Center Hamburg. And I'm here in the vintage room, the holy grail room for all the vintage gear and for all those beautiful guitars. I have the honor and pleasure to record a lot of videos for the channel, The World of Vintage Guitars, which is actually a channel by No1. I'm the host. I'm doing that for a couple of years now, and we have tons of beautiful guitars on that channel. For those guys who know the Amp1, it's 99.9% using Amp1 and Blue Box. The beautiful Marshall is nice in the picture, but it's actually not so practical. So therefore, you are listening to Amp1 most of the time. Let me explain a little bit about this beautiful guitar. I'm surrounded by a bunch of Sky guitars. There are more of these guitars. These guitars are created by Ole John Roth, who is, of course, a guitar icon. I would really call him a guitar hero icon because he came up with things that has been influencing other guitar players like crazy. We're talking Uli in the 70s, like with the Scorpions, sales of Sharon, There's some killer lines that he created and techniques. And since he is such an outstanding personality and player, he came up with instruments like this, which is a active guitar that has preamp and everything. And I'm using the Amp1 on the clean channel. So this is kind of really old school. It's like all the overdrive was coming from the clean channel. And this is not even on full. This is on 8, no boost. So I have this guitar, a Sky guitar, with the external power supply. I don't know, 24 volts or it is a lot of headroom that's coming from this guitar. And this guitar gives Uli the chance to control everything with that guitar. So there's a volume control. So all the tones we are listening to coming from the guitar. And his sound recipe is having a standard tube amp like a Plexi Marshall, and that is not even cranked. It's kind of more in the clean range, and then all the boost is coming not from pedals, it's coming from the guitar itself. So there's like a boost built in, a tone control, active EQ, a single coil humbucker switch, all this kind of pickup selector switch. And the crazy thing about his guitar, about the Sky guitar, of course, Sky, there is no limit. It is not 24 frets, it's 23, 5, 6, 7, and then it's going all the way up. I don't know how high these notes are, but they are really heavenly. So if I... How high can you go? Anyway, I'm using my Replex kind of tape echo in the effects loop, and what is it? Infinity 3 looper. I don't know what company that is made from. If you know it, put it in the comments. Is the empty box somewhere? No. Anyway, that's the Infinity 3 looper and the Replex. Okay, this guitar, by the way, is called the Bianca Sky. It has 6 strings. There's a ton of other guitars that has 7 strings, and like double neck guitars with nylon string acoustic guitars meets the electric guitar for flamenco things and so on. Bianca Sky, of course, because it's black, white, you know, blanc. Bianca. It's described with 2 brass scratch plates, these ones, 24 karat gold plated. Wow. Uli, maybe I nick your scratch plates if it's pure gold. I know these guitars are not inexpensive, and it comes with all the whistles and bells. It has the auto tune here, so you switch it on and then it will actually tune itself. Can you listen? Yeah. So, in tune, and off we go. Nice. Battery. I think this is the one to switch off. Yeah, so that's one of Uli's guitars. I had the pleasure to play with Uli actually a few times, and yeah, it was always fun. This was maybe Guitar Summit, but I also played with him with Viktor Smolsky. He is one of the innovators of modern rock guitar, because he brings in new influences in that kind of guitar playing, rock guitar playing. Okie doke. Yeah, before we move on, I do the usual bit with our artists on tour. I just found out about Ian Crichton from Saga. He's actually playing here in Hamburg tomorrow night. I dropped him an email. If he is free, he will maybe come and see me, which can be fun. And yeah, we can see a few tour dates here in Germany. There is Koblenz, June 7, Hamburg. Oh, so they are playing tonight. Ah, that makes sense. And tomorrow they come here to Hamburg for Große Freiheit. The day after, on the 9th, they play Berlin. And the day after that, which is the 10th, they play Erfurt, East Germany. And on June 11th, they play Munich. There is a video of Ian on our Bluguitar channel, and he's using the amp one all the time, even though you sometimes see other amps on stage for the cosmetics. But if you look, you will find an amp one which is plugged in, and the whatever expensive or not expensive tube amp is just for the cosmetics. Okay, another great guitar player is David Hawkins from British Lion. British Lion is kind of the second band of Steve Harris from Iron Maiden. He's the boss, he's the founder of Iron Maiden. And he is so keen on playing live that he has actually created another band called British Lion. And I know they are on tour with 5 amp ones on stage. They are playing, I think, June 8th. Is it today? Tomorrow? Okay, tomorrow they play the Sweden Rock. The 12th they play Krakow in Krakow, Poland. Yeah. Then they play the Hellfest in France, and then they play on the 23rd in Dublin. He is on my wish list to have him as a guest on the Academy of Tone, and we already spoke about that a couple of times. And then there came COVID and stuff, and now I'm here and he's not there. But this is definitely happening because we go back all the way from the very early days of Bluguitar. I remember when I did a clinic tour in 20, what was it, 17, or even earlier, maybe 15. I was playing in the UK and we had some nice late night curry, which was great. So he was gigging, I was gigging, and then we had kind of a very light dinner, which was great. Another artist, Sascha Reber, who is actually a YouTube content creator, doing a lot of demos, and he has been using the M1 Mercury edition a lot. We see many videos of him, and just recently he posted something with the Iridium edition, which is a Tool song, Stinkfist, if you know what that means. And this is a clip that you can find on his Instagram and YouTube. We will put this in our sound finder because we think he nailed that tone just with the amp as it is. Then we found something. Shall we show the clip? Yeah, let's show the clip. It's short. Somebody interesting that we don't know who it is, but it was so cool. We decided to put him on the list. Denzel Pruitt, I don't know, from the USA, I guess, AMP1 user, and he posted a clip using the Bluguitar hashtag. So if you have something, use the Bluguitar hashtag and you might appear on this part of our live stream. We don't know much about him, but it seems like he's playing some funky guitar stuff. Great player, great tone. Even from the mobile phone video, we can see that. Okay, check it out. There's a clip. Yeah, and then there is Ronnie Lee, that rock lady, killer singer and guitar player, female. I was playing with her at NAMM, the day before NAMM this year, and actually last year too. She is from Las Vegas, currently in Germany on tour with the Ronnie Lee group. So check her out if you're in Germany. June 6 is Gdanska in Oberhausen. I played that place many times. Last time it was sold out, which was cool. Then June 8th is the sports bar Triangel in Ippenbüren. Also, I played that venue, which is, I think, in the first floor. It's kind of a, yeah, it's there's an elevator. I remember when I had to bring in the gear, and that elevator is kind of a bit small. So if you bring in the drums and the guitar stuff and the cases, yeah. Anyway, June 9 is die Butze in Tönis Forst, and on the 10th is Alt Verdol in Verdol, which is a classic. I played all those venues with Martin Englin, Go Music, and whatnot. A classic venues, club venues, bigger venues, like in Ippenbüren. Yeah, yes, it's always fun with her. She's the real deal. And actually, on my way or our way, Lucas, the video guy, is with me here. On our way back from Hamburg to Saarbrücken, we might even stop and have dinner with her, like on Sunday, which is, I don't know, 11th? Is it? Anyway, yeah, so we are in contact. I wish I could play with her, but I'm busy here, so we kind of just crossing paths and don't meet, but maybe we can have a beer, which would be great. Yeah, and being here in Hamburg, in this very place, the No1 Guitar Center, at the Phoenixhof, which is a very nice, what would you call it? Building that used to be some maybe steel industrial, but totally converted into this cool shop and very cool theaters and other restaurants and furniture stores. So this kind of areal, whatever, this kind of it is several houses here, and all these houses is kind of an area of a former industrial manufacturing place, and this has all been turned into a new cool place. And this weekend on 10th and 11th, there's the Crossroads Festival, which is No1's event of the year for electric guitars. So there's many companies coming, exhibition of Yamaha, Line 6, and whatnot, Fender, I guess. And so that's one part of the event. The other part of the event is clinics. And one of the stars already came in here today, the bass player of the Rolling Stones, who, of course, you all know him, Daryl Jones. Yeah, this picture has been taken this morning. He was checking me out on the chair over there when I was recording videos of some of those vintage guitars. We talked. And actually, he's an Amp1 user himself. He does not only play the bass, he is also a guitar player and singer. And just for you guys to understand, he played with Miles Davis, he played with Sting, and now he plays with the Rolling Stones. And I will play with him on Saturday. So, what a climax. After the Rolling Stones, of course. Yeah, no, very sweet guy. And as you can see, he was showing me one of his Jones guitars. It's not a real professional thing, but he has a passion for instruments. So he makes basses and guitars himself. And as I do my amp, so he was checking out the Amp X, and I was checking out one of his guitars, The rest is in customs on the way to here. That's the only guitar that he had in his kind of hand luggage, that T-style or Telecaster style guitar. Yeah, Daryl is a sweet guy. I will do an interview with him. Maybe we can check this out next week. Yeah, and on the weekend we have a killer band. It's a total blind date thing. You know, there's Jean-Jacques Kravetz, who is the keyboard player of Udo Lindenberg. The Germans will know Udo Lindenberg. It's kind of the, well, German Bruce Springsteen, maybe. The first guy that was singing German lyrics that are actually cool, where the German language really makes sense, you know. And so rock music with Udo Lindenberg was an evolution. We're talking 1970 around. Bal Pompös was probably the first record, if I remember. And then, yeah, with the Panic Orchestra and all the people there. So he's coming, and his son, Julian Kravetz, will be our drummer. I've never played with him, but you know, his father is a super pro, filling stadiums, so he must be good. Then we have Arndt Geiser on bass, and we have a female singer, young female singer, Pia. I just heard good things. I had a phone call. We fixed the set list. Like, okay, now we have like maybe 2 hours of songs, so we can throw in people. I see I see Johnny Controletti is one song of Udo Lindenberg. Yeah, I can see that in the comment, which is super cool. Und die Beule in der Jacke, die kam von der Kanone. That was a part of the lyrics. Anyway, if you know Udo Lindenberg, you know what I'm talking about. Cool guy. Yeah. So talking about this band, we will have guests. There is Professor Peter Weihe, one of my heroes. He is Germany's #1 studio guy. On the picture, like to the left, that's Peter Weihe. He played anything Boney M for the German poor. He played Sarah Brightman. He played anything on the radio in Germany 10, 20 years ago was him. And he did the iconic guitars of Rainbirds. And I was stepping in his footprints when I played with the Rainbirds in 1993. And he kind of created that guitar player, that virtual guitar player that didn't exist as a studio musician. He even came up with a look. This guy didn't exist, but he said this was kind of a French character having a berry head and a little weirdo guy playing a Telecaster or a Strat single coil, a real character. And he created that character guitar player that was him. And I was trying to do my thing based on his creation. Yeah, on that picture you can see next to Peter there is Thomas Weilbier, like the owner of this shop here, myself, and Andreas Kloppmann, the guy who does the pickups. He's also here on the weekend. And Peter Weihe is also doing something crazy. They discovered a method how to tweak Les Pauls in a way with some things, and he called me up and said, "Hey Thomas, you better bring your gold top Les Paul because I can make it sound as you like it." And that's a big promise. And here where we are sitting, we have the best guitars. We have bursts. We have 3 bursts in this room, and maybe the best ones ever played. So we have cool references, and he has a thing that he will present how to get closer to the tone that you want. And his story is he had to sell his 58 Les Paul standard burst that was Ronnie Montrose. Maybe you know Ronnie Montrose. Sammy Hagar was the singer with that band before Van Halen. And that guitar, Peter was playing as his main guitar his entire life as a session guitar player. And it's been on any record, and it's outstanding good guitar. And since he sold that guitar, he tried to get something similar back. And even there's a Gibson custom shop version of his guitar, and it's not exactly what he wanted. But now finally he has found a trick how to get even closer. And my guitar will be, my Goldtop will be his example how to improve it on his workshop here at on the weekend, on Saturday, I think 5 o'clock that is. So I'm blessed because Mr. Professor Weihe will improve my guitar. Nothing to complain about that. Yeah, and then we have other people that might join in. Franz Blaser, just the producer of Echt and some very cool productions here in Germany. And he might join in for the jam. Then there is Jörg Sander, who is a current guitar player with Udo Lindenberg. Yeah, he might come on Saturday. And, you know, other Inga Rumpf, maybe Otto. You know, last time I was here, Otto came. This is all the Hamburg guys hanging out. It's a real cool event, and the venue is here on this place on this. Yeah, it's nice because there's a theater for clinics, and there's another place for the live concerts, and there is the exhibition in the middle, and there is the shop, and it's a very nice event. It's something that this industry needs, that is exciting the guitar players. Like a small guitar summit for the north of Germany, since the guitar summit is in Mannheim, which is southwest Germany, close to my hometown. Yeah, here I see David Mattei, Gibson Les Paul CC28 Ronnie Montrose. That's the guitar. You can actually buy Peter's guitar replica from Gibson, the CC28. It looks like Kloppmann is turning the tuners. Well, everybody is turning my tuners. Yeah. Okay, it's all the Hamburg connection. Yeah, I have been shooting a lot of the collection of Carola Kretschmer, but we cannot show the stuff now, so you all guys have to wait. But in this room we have beautiful range of guitars, and I you know, me being the Strat guy, I thought it would be cool, yeah, just to have hands on these and see what these guitars are doing and how they sound differently. Well, if you do have any questions, I just pick up a 1960 Fender Stratocaster, clean as fuck. Look at this. I mean, most new guitars don't look that clean. And this is all original 1960 Stratocaster. No, nearly nowhere. It's, you know, it's just unbelievable. So maybe it's in tune, maybe not. We will find out. Here, WOP 3-way switch, 1, 2, 3, mint condition, all original. So let's give it a little bit more juice. So this is bridge position, of course. Oh, okay, that's the middle position. That's the middle position. And actually, it's, you know, most people think middle position is boring, but it's actually not. It's just a more balanced version of the bridge. That's the bridge again. It's kind of spanky. Okay, let me play something with this, with my beautiful looper that I'm trying to learn. And I will get you whatever. Okay. Okay, of course I have a little fun with my Replex here. All by myself, it's much more fun to have that tape delay. This time in the effects loop. Yeah, so that's a 1960, something pretty close to my 61, which actually sits behind me in the corner. It's, can you see that? Yeah, over there. That's mine. I leave it there because we have beautiful guitars and they are different. Here is a 59 hardtail, so no whammy bar. This one is lighter. Let's see what that sounds like. Okay, first the clean sound. Again, three-way switch. I do a quick comparison between the 60 and the... Okay, I will mix it up anyway later. So... Yeah, can you hear the difference? I can. I kind of like that neck pickup, maybe even better. Let's compare. Neck pickup of that 59 hardtail. Why? Because this neck pickup is slightly darker, and I always like the neck pickups when they are brighter and the bridge pickups are thicker. That's why some people have hot wire or hotter pickups in the bridge position, like this. So they are just not too spangy. So which one would you prefer? The 1959 hardtail or the 1960 Strat? Yeah, here I can hear that the floating bridge is not as Telecaster style like and strong as the other one. But I like that. Somehow I like the openness of that 1960 Strat. Let's compare that one with a later one, which is 1964. Wait a minute. 1964. That's second half of 64 because we have the big logo. It's not the spaghetti logo anymore like on the other ones. And when we look at the curved fingerboard, it's hard to show you here. If we can see that, I don't know if the camera can show this. The rosewood is actually curved. And that's called a veneer board. Okay, wow. Good camera work. So let's listen to that guitar. Everything on full. Yeah, it's a lot milder, it's a lot less twangy and not as pronounced, I guess. Let's double check the bridge position. Well, the pickup height here is maybe not perfect. It's probably a touch too far away from the strings, but that's actually a tendency that 64 Stratocasters, you all know that I have a 64 myself, they don't have that twang. It's not the twang and the accuracy in a way compared to the earlier ones, the slap boards, is not the same. Well, of course, we are moaning at highest level here, but this is the bridge pickup. Hey, and again, I end up using the middle pickup. That's the thing about vintage Strats, which is underrated. It's like, it's a real good tone. Yeah, so for me, again, middle pickup is something nice. And of course the bridge here. You know, for that clavinet kind of spankiness. But the middle pickup sounds also cool. Anyway, 64. Okay, let's get that tagger on it so we not getting confused. Okay, wow, let's go back in the years to the very first year of Stratocaster, 1954. And this is, yeah, let's see what we have here. Maple neck, very warm and broad. Let me tune that guitar. Okay. Yeah. Okay, close enough. Yeah, fun. So imagine this is the first year of the Stratocaster, invented in 1954, and this piece is all original. This is what you could buy in a store in 1954, and it's doing everything I want from a Strat already. No mods, nothing, and yeah, just killer. Leo Fender, respect, genius. 57. What else do we have? 57. Okay, we have two 57s. Let me check this one. So this is kind of 3 years younger. Again, the twang is killer. There's something about maple strats and clean tones. You can hear me playing my 61 mainly overdriven. Why? Because I like overdrive tones, but I have to admit I like clean tones with maple neck strats too. And yeah, that's just a killer combination. And that's nothing. The Replex is on bypass. I'm just using amp 1 with the internal boost and okay, and a scratchy pot in the Strat. I see Christian Neumann was born in 54. Good year. So get this one. I guess it's only whatever 25,000. And from the wear you can see it's probably played in G and D a lot, not so much E. If you look at my Strat, you know, these clay dots on my Strat are gone. And this is kind of the cleaner spot here. But around this range here, 3rd fret, it has been used heavily. There's no lacquer on the fretboard anymore. So every of the old guitars tells you a story. And that's also fun for me doing that job here. Playing those guitars, because all these guitars, they have a history, they have a story to tell, and it's kind of listen to them and it's like killer. 57. Hey, by the way, I give you the settings. The clean tone is all the way up. The clean volume is on 8. The boost is all the way up. The boost is on. Bass is on 6. middle is on 4.5, actually that should be 5, and treble is on 5. I'm using my ever, what is it, Stack 1970 on the Blue Box, just in case. I don't know how it sounds on your end. I have no monitors this time. I'm listening to my nice little prototype Bluguitar speaker cabinet, which is this one. It is the Americana cab that will eventually see the market in whatever time. Yeah, I love that cabinet. It's ultra lightweight, open back, something that suits vintage instruments, and it's great for clean tones and overdrive tones, but focusing on that open back sound. I see the comments. Thomas can play a Nudelholz. I play Nudelholz. This is a Nudelholz. Yeah, just get the neck off and make some pasta. You can make beautiful pasta with this kind of wood too. You know. And this was all bypass. Let me engage the Replex because that gives you even more thickness, whatever this is, magic. Yeah, the Replex, it's a magic combination for Stratocaster or Telecasters, I believe. There's another 57. Yeah, oops. Wait a minute, I'm sitting. 57 number 2. Another Nudelholz. I think I like that one better. Let's listen with the Replex. Yeah, but again, this bridge pickup has a story to tell. nice. That's a little lighter. Let me compare it again. I don't know which one you would choose. 57 versus 57. Let me see this one. That's my choice. That's my choice. Yeah, this one has even more twang. I don't know if it sounds better to you, but it's like, for me, it's more expressive to play. I see a comment here, 71 Strat, Hardy O. If I'm looking opposite to me, there is a Strat that might be a 71. I have no idea. Let's see, what is this? Fender Stratocaster, 77. Okay. Well, you're older than this guitar. Let's check this one out. Again, hardtail piece. Give it a little bit of tuning. But I think you can hear the 50s Strat has more solid wood tone. And this is a hardtail, so which means the connection of the strings to the wood doesn't get any better than this one. Not a bad guitar, but 57. This guitar can kill. Yep. These go for quite big money, but I know why. Okay, for me, the whole story is not about the money. I don't own such a guitar because I don't have the money for such a guitar, but I'm very interested in the tone. And that's the point why I love doing that job, because I get real good guitars in my hands. and I know what time it is when it comes to tone and what is possible, and I can use that as training my ears and as a reference point for stuff that I do, so I know, yeah, how things are. And I do have a good collection of vintage guitars, and I still know there are some guitars which are probably better, but they are not my price range. And I'm not a collector, so you know these guitars are too clean. It's something I wouldn't buy because I couldn't play them. They are just too precious. I would rather buy a player that has that tone. So that's what I'm after. Because the clean guitars, they are good if you have too much money, and instead of putting the money on the bank, you buy a guitar, put it somewhere, maybe here. One of those guitars might be Udo Lindenberg's. I know he has a 57 here in this room. Could be this one. So Udo, if you're listening, I like your guitar. But the other day I discovered that 64 Strat that was Otto Walkes. But this is kind of back with Otto. And I like those guitars. Any questions at this point? Can you play a Nudelholz? Yeah. You can see strings patterns on them. I see dump as every morning in the mirror. For getting a vintage guitar with my year of birth, I'm too young, 71. Okay. Can you find one of Uli Roth's old Strats? Not in here. Uli brought in some of his guitars. He's currently in the UK. But he has, you know, all these extremely weird guitars here, which are super special. I'm sure he told me he has some old Strats. I don't know which years, but he used to be a Strat guy before he came up with his own Sky guitars. Giffy Marauder. Maybe I can find a cheap 63 Strat when it comes to 63 in pieces. Yeah, 63 is another year that is sought after because, as we have seen earlier, 64 is the year with the veneer board, and 63 is kind of the biggest necks. In 61, the necks are pretty slim, and then they get bigger in 63, and they have a very big tone. Actually, not my personal favorite, and it's of course a generalization, since those guitars vary a lot. So not every 57 sounds like this, and not every 63 has that baseball neck, or whatever you want to call that, the fatter neck. And not every 61 has a skinny neck like mine, or a lot of others. There are always some exceptions to that rule. But you can find a pattern. So more of the 61 Strats are guitars with thinner necks, and more of the 63 ones have wider necks, especially if they are original. Some players have worked on their necks for personal preferences, but hey, that's something which sometimes is not so good, because all the guitars that I played here are mint, if not mint, nearly mint. And there is nothing that I would actually change. Just my dummy coil for the purpose of playing high gain on a Strat and not having hum problems. Yeah. The exciting question is whether it's possible to produce something like this at normal prices nowadays, or are we are the raw materials simply missing? That's exactly the point. And for me, my dream was always to have a spare guitar that can replace my 61 Strat behind me. And even with original Fender parts, I have that guitar at home, original 1960 neck, original hardware, original tremolo, original. I had everything original, even original body. It was not. I had to change the body for a different one because it sounded actually better than an original old Fender body. What I learned is there are a few parameters and they are all critical and it all sums up. It is the wood, it's especially the neck. And I'm brutal, but the Fender Custom Shop does great stuff, but it's not at this level. And there is more. I try my very best to get this with my Bluguitar copies, but I have to admit there is still a gap between these and the real deal because I can compare them. I have my copies and I have these. And my challenge, my personal challenge is to get as close to this kind of level as possible. And every year, we, which is me and my friends, Trevor Wilkinson, Andreas Kloppmann, and all the other nerdy guys, make a little more discovery of one little aspect that is a piece of the puzzle that gets the whole thing a little bit closer to the real deal. So nobody cracked the code 100%, but we are at 95% maybe. And I'm on that mission. So my dream is to crack the code at least to a level where it's possible to get real great players that are not in this price range and that are not using that old wood. I know there will be still that 20, 40, 50, 60 years of playing on those guitars, which you can't really get 100%. But the pickups and the hardware and the way that the necks are designed and little details can be better than what we can find on the market towards that reference point. So, Sonja in the, hi Sonja, she was organizing that masterclass that I gave in Kindsbach, and she's asking about that guitar that Tom played at Kindsbach. That's one of that early blue guitars, which is kind of one of those guitars with that attempt. And this was actually a very good blue guitar. It's I think number 19. I know them all personally because if I get a new one, I'm most of the time having a hard time to let it go because they're pretty good for what they are. I still have my number 161. I will not sell anyhow. But it's like some of those replicas are really good. And the guitar that Tom was playing there is one of those. Handmade by Trevor Wilkinson with Kloppmann pickups. And yeah, it is already a very good guitar. And by now it's actually a few years old. So that's that guitar that I had in Kindsbach. A Clash DC, have you tried out Frozen, the guitar, like Session Ollie? Yeah, the cryotuning. I've done an experiment And I like it for certain things because it takes away the harshness. But on the other end, I found out it can maybe make something too sweet. So it depends on the materials that you have. Um, I would try to have the cryo on selected parts. At least that's the current status of what I think you can do, and it actually does a lot. It and if you have a sterile guitar, it's something to do. Just make sure you maybe just put in the wood parts and leave the rest out there before it's overdone. Or you go all the way. It's up to you. But it does something, and it helps to get a more complete tone that is rounder, that is actually more musical. It's a kind of aging, and it can be heard, and it's not bullshit. It's happening. HDO, sadly, the Bluguitar Masterbuilds are only available in homeopathic amounts. Yes, that's true. And I feel very sad about that. And the reason for that is Andreas Kloppmann is currently building those. And Andreas his main business is making pickups. And he has to pay the rent. And his guys working for him will get a few more of these eventually here and there. And in parallel, I'm working on another facility to have a higher amount of guitars. Maybe not exactly aged at the same, but with the same knowledge applied to. I'm doing this with Trevor Wilkinson, by the way. And let's see. I try my very best to solve that issue one day. But yeah, when I talked with Daryl Jones this morning about his guitars, he has the same problem. His guitars and basses are killer, but again, he has like no numbers because if they are handmade by one guy, maybe you have no volume. You have one guitar maybe not even a week, a month, and nobody is making any money on this. It's for me. It's ramping up the knowledge so that we are able to have the final recipe eventually one day and getting something going and having a run. Yeah, now we have the recipe and we have some people that can produce a few more, and that's all we can do. Maybe we get a production. I'm not going to any place and just order guitars that are not, not special. If you can go to a shop and buy an American standard Fender Stratocaster and it's a good guitar or whatever. And if I would do something, it needs to be different. Put me on the pre-order list. Yeah, write us an email. Some of our Bluguitar, you will be on place, whatever. Hopefully we'll. No, but actually I'm working on this. One day. Hey guys, any more questions? Are you interested in pedals? We do have TS9s. Last time I was here, I was doing the big shootout of TS808s. We had them all 80s. Bought revision A, revision B, with the RC blah 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 chip. And the funny thing is, you know that I have that thing myself at home. OD1. And guess what? They go for 429 euros these days. And yeah, I bought them I bought mine, which is like in mint condition, 30 years ago, probably. Let's plug it in just for fun. And which guitar did we play last? Ah, that's the guitar. Shall I play? Well, just play the 57 for fun. Okay, I need a patch lead. Patch leads are here. I plug it in front of the Replex, or the Replex is on bypass now. So, okay, power. This is a Fender pitch cable. A little bit too stiff in my opinion, but looks cool. So. Okay, when I listen to this, I can hear it's very mild, very mild. Do I like that? Huh? Where's that reverb coming from? Interesting. I think mine sounds more in your face. Maybe the battery is old. But hey, this is OD1, one of the bluesiest Boss pedals ever. Let's check another one. Yep. The Maxon from 1979. Oh, that's the company that made the TS-808, and that's a Maxon. Let's see how that thing sounds like. Oh, this battery is low. That's probably no fun at all. Shit, I should have prepared. And the switch is broken. Fucking hell. Let's see what this... I think it's a doorbell. I don't know, we heard so many great guitar tones without these pedals. You know what, skip that bit, because I'm not in the mood. You know, it's like having a great meal with killer tones, like just listen to that, get rid of that pedal. Tonight, it's not a pedal thing. It's just like, wow, I mean, and then just a little bit of that Replex tube goodness. who needs a pedal when you have that sound? And it's just my Replex or just the amp one. It's like more reverb. I wish I could play that tune. Okay, again. Ah, fuck. Again. Hey, great guitar, amp, that's all you need. No effects, nothing, just a great guitar. Yesterday, yeah, that was the song, right. Guys, I think I leave it for now. Tomorrow is a big day for me with more guitars to record. You will see all the results on the YouTube channel, The World of Vintage Guitars. And to finish this episode, we show you one episode that I have done here in this room with a 59 Les Paul, so you know what I'm doing. I see you guys all back in Saarbrücken in the other studio next week, same time. For you, the same place, for me, different place. Thanks for joining in and enjoy that 59 Les Paul. See you guys. Welcome to the world of vintage guitars. This is a real beauty, a real 1959 burst. The real deal. Well, there's a long story about this guitar and it finally came alive and into our hands. This guitar has an owner who bought this guitar as a used guitar in 1963, And then there was a big accident that the headstock was broken and it was sitting in a case. Later on, it was in a museum in Munich for about 15 years. And finally, they decided to bring this guitar back to life and kind of went on a journey how to make restoration jobs, how to get it into best conditions. The woodwork was done by Matthias Schindehütte from Frankfurt-Bornheim. He is the expert when it comes to delicate stuff and wood stuff here in Germany. And the pickups have been checked by Andreas Kloppmann, and it's totally two untouched PAF humbuckers, all original pots, all original cables, the whole 9 yards. So that's important. This guitar, to me, is one of the most expressive Les Pauls that I ever had in my hands. And I'm a big fan of that guitar, as it has so much dynamic, a great tone, a great feel. This is why the bursts are such precious guitars. I'm just a fan. Let me show you a little bit more about this beautiful guitar. First, you can see how they put the flame top here, typical color. You know, the back, we can see there's a break here and also on the neck, which goes all the way back down here. So this had to be restored. This little dark mark shows where the crack actually was. And the binding might have been replaced as well. And these are new tuners, so they can be used. I played some of those old guitars with original tuners, and this was no fun. But this is a guitar that you can actually play and enjoy the tone, and yeah, it's a beauty. Yeah, let's hear the magic of such a guitar, the real deal. I will start with something with my beloved Marshallesque sound, and this goes like this. Bam, just one sec here and there. Yeah, we have all these very colorful tones only by using the volume control on such a guitar. With the real PAF pickups and this guitar, it's just magic to me. So starting with clean tones from like 1.5 here. Warm, transparent, just perfect. 2. A little smoky coming from the amp, but also the guitar has that fine character. 3. There's always sustain at hand, so there's nothing, you know, the guitar always will support you. It's like, there it is, there's your sustain, there's your tone. 5. Eight. Yeah, we find all these tones only on the bridge pickup. Let me show you what happens when I use the tone control on this one. Turn it down to like 7. It actually cleans up a bit more. Let me show you something like this. Well, the tonal palette we get from that beautiful tone control here as well makes even just one pickup by itself so versatile, from clean to screaming overdrive with a high gain setting. And yeah, in between position, let's check that out. Let's start like 5/5 on both here. I increase. Yeah, neck pickup starting with 5 and maybe 5 on the tone. Yeah, killer tone on the neck pickup. Anyway, let's show what happens from like 3 clean to 5. 7. 8. 'Yeah, just beautiful. The whole palette. This is what you want from a real burst. So this is a very, very, very special burst. The Real Deal 1959, and I'm so happy it came back to life. Enjoy this guitar.